Hello, everyone. Greetings from NSN Hyderabad. As you are aware, we have been having a lot of expert talks with people who have been connecting with the skilling ecosystem for a very long time, and also with the leadership team and other team members from Tata Strive. So this time we have with us Bijita, who is from Tata Strive, and she is the principal lead. She takes care of ecosystem strengthening and talent development. So we have with us Bijita Joyce, who's going to give us her expertise in the area of how the center manager plays an extremely important role in successful implementation of programs, various skill development programs at any skill development or vocational training center. So welcome to this talk, Bijita. Let's go ahead asking you the very first question about the role of the center manager and why is it very important for the entire skilling ecosystem?
Thank you, Madhuri, for having me. And I think this question can be addressed. I think I have three critical points that I want to share on this particular question. The first point being, there is no particular order, but the first point being, the center manager. If you see the skill development value chain, it has a lot of moving parts. Many people come in right from, mobilization to placement and post placement. We have different people coming in, doing their jobs and, going away. You need someone who can hold the thread end to end. For example, a cricket game, all those who follow cricket, we understand that, you have a batsman, you have a bowler, you have a wicket keeper. Each one of them is doing their jobs and everyone has only one agenda, that the team should win. But there is one person who is holding the entire thing together, which who's the captain of the cricket team. And I think that's what the center manager, definitely has to focus on, and is critical to ensure that end to end it's taken care, and we're able to meet the commitments of the funders and, more importantly, the learners.
Mhm.
That's the first thing that I feel why center managers are very critical. Second thing I feel is that, at Tata Strive also, we tell our center managers that, you all are not just center managers, you all are CEOs of your own centers. When you say CEOs, you just not focus on what is happening current, but you also think about tomorrow. You also think about what's next, what's after that. The sustenance of the center is what they start focusing on. And I think that's why I can closely relate center managers as CEOs of that particular center. The third thing which I feel is very critical and often not given enough importance is restricting the center manager to be a manager. I think center managers, they need to shift from being a manager to being a leader.
Mhm.
Tell you why also, because if you see a training center, typically 70% of their staff are trainers, and trainers play a very important role in ensuring that you are able to achieve your goals, the goal of your funders, etc. Now these trainers who are there at the center, either they are self-motivated to do that work, because this space requires a lot of passion as well,
Yeah.
but unfortunately, not everyone is like that. You also have a section of people who joined because possibly they didn't have any other option, so they, kind of took up this option. It's a stopgap arrangement for them. Possibly some of them felt, I need to now contribute. It's enough. I've done enough work. I need to now contribute and make use of my time. So I'm a part of this team. So center manager plays a very important role in nudging them, in inspiring them, in ensuring them that we are not only able to achieve the learner goals, but we're also preparing for the next. And right now things are so dynamic. What's happening today is not what's happening tomorrow. So
Yeah.
how do you prep your team? And I feel that's where the most critical part is, of shifting the role of a center manager from just managing to actually leading. That's very critical, and I think that's where center managers play a very important role in taking the training center forward.
Yeah. I think, Vijita, that was a good example you gave about cricket, about being the captain of the team and leading the people and being a people manager. But beyond that, like you said, it cannot be limited just to people management or management of a project or something, but somebody who has a vision, like the CEO of a
Correct.
company, which is so essential. And also, you brought in the element of being more empathetic in this field, because this is definitely a much more challenging space than in any other typical commercial educational and training
Absolutely.
institution. So when such a challenging role has to be taken up by someone, let's assume people are interested to get into this and become a real good center manager. What do you think are the main qualities and attributes of such a person?
I think, Madhuri, as you rightly said, being empathetic, people manager. So having said that, I would like to connect it to my previous, response. I think leadership skill is definitely very critical and important. And when we say leadership, who's a good leader, who's a bad leader, there are so many definitions to it. We may not have an actual definition, but if you're really able to inspire people to follow you and the goal, I think you are a true leader. So I think leadership skills definitely is one of the critical or main element of a leader. And what is leadership skill? It's influence, nothing more, nothing less. If you're able to influence people, who are the people that center manager, interact with? Definitely it's your team, your immediate team that you interact with. You also interact with the learners who come to your center, the prospects who come to your center, the alumni that you have. You also interact with the employers, because the whole the person who's holding the thread together is bringing the community here, bringing the employers, bringing the students together. That's what you do as a center manager. So how do you connect with them and influence them, help them see what they are not able to see? I think that's very critical for a center manager. Another skill, I think I have a couple of them which I would like to list it down. Leadership being one, influencing skills being one. Third thing that I feel is, very critical is also to think like an entrepreneur. If someone to this center and tells you now run it, because the space, honestly, Madhuri, does not have a lot of structure. You may be working in a very remote location. You may not have the proper infrastructure. You may not have the proper processes. It may be a very unstructured format. How do you take things forward despite these challenges? A lot of grit where you don't give up. I think that is something which is also very critical. The fourth piece which I feel is very critical is your skill to understand data and use talk from an evidence based element. Typically what happens is people make statements like ye wahan pe nahi chalega, wahan pe bahut sara problem hai, or people have lot of issues. There are many people who are recently example because of COVID and we had to move everything to digital. We hear responses and many children don't have access to mobile phones, many children have network issues. So many is just an opinion, right? What does that many mean? What is that number? And then going deep into it, that becomes very critical. So talking from an evidence-based language, it becomes very critical for a center manager. So asking those relevant questions, going deeper into it becomes very critical. I think another thing that's also important for them is having a solution mindset. As I said, every region will have their own problems.
Yeah.
You cannot always call up the corporate office and ask for support, because you know your local situation more strongly. You can see better than what we see at the corporate end. So as a center manager, how can you come with the problem, but also with the recommended solutions and not just with the problems? That kind of thinking is very important. And of course, managing your team. I think managing your team, managing your people, inspiring them is something which is very important, and which will definitely help them in the long run, because you are only holding them. You can be successful only when you ensure that your people are successful. You need people to push you, and you also need people to pull you. So who are those people pushing you? It's your team. So how do I manage your team, and how do I build more leaders? How do I build my team? I think that's another very important quality that a center manager should definitely focus upon.
Yeah, and also you brought in the regional element. I think that's very essential, because these are unique attributes, I think, of a place or geographical region which has its own challenges. Like running
Right.
a center in a city, in a metro, could be different from a tier two kind of
Absolutely.
city or a
Absolutely.
rural area. So I guess so much of sensitivity also has to be built into this person,
Correct.
right?
Correct.
Who's going to lead these centers. How do we build capacity now? Let's say we have so many training centers. There are a lot of people who are interested in starting new training centers. So towards capacity building, what measures could be taken in your opinion?
So definitely, Madhuri, when a center manager joins in, it's very important for this individual to stay aligned to what the organization is actually expecting, or what's the vision of the organization, and are you aligned with it? I think the onboarding part, right from the time this person decides to join the organization, or at least at Tata Style, we ensure that we do a good onboarding with the center managers or any individual who joins, so that they stay aligned to the culture, to the vision of the organization. And also the part of sensitivity that you brought in, Madhuri, because the trainers are pretty young, and so are the students. So the age gap between the trainers and the students are very young. There is a lot of sensitivity and sensitization that needs to be built around this. And I think the center manager needs to be aware of all such nuances and dynamics that come in these interactions. So the onboarding is a very critical role. Just by doing an onboarding, that doesn't stop there. The group of center managers needs to come together. They need to network. They need to collaborate, and investing in their development becomes very important. At Tata Strive, for example, I can give you a Tata Strive. We run a 5-week program for our center managers, which is primarily into helping them manage their role better, which covers the elements that I spoke about earlier. Being aware of your industry, because not many of them come from a vocational or a skilling background. So how do you expose them to the industry? What does the industry look like for them? We talk about stakeholder management. Now, in fact, it's not just stakeholder management. One of the behavior that we are driving at Strive is stakeholder delight. So how do I bring about stakeholder delight? We bring in experts within and outside to talk to them and support them in doing this. We spend a good time on helping them understand, data management, because that's one area that we feel needs a lot of emphasis. It's not just having a lot of Excel sheets in front of me and, presenting, but it's also gathering insights from that Excel sheet, and hence what decision or what recommendation do I have? I think that's a third piece that we focus. And fourth, and importantly, on the people management. As I mentioned earlier, that's a very significant contributor to the success of the center manager's role. We train or we promote a culture of coaching within Strive. And as center managers also, we help them move from being a manager to a coach. We also tell them that, how can you build your people? We encourage them to have development conversations with their staff, with their employees, with their team once a quarter, so that they are able to, have a very free flow conversation, one-on-one conversation, discuss what's working well, what's not working well, give feedback, get feedback, and together move forward towards it. So I think these are some things that we do as a practice. Apart from that, last year we also ran a series called as Gajnigiri, because that SOPs are something which is a guideline and a Bible for us to do things. However, most of the time in the thick of work, we tend to forget, or skip or miss the ball somewhere. So what we did is, going back to the concept of the movie Gajni, in the Hindi movie Gajni, we brought in this Gajnigiri series where we brought all our center managers together, and instead of telling how, we told them why this process is important, why you should do counseling in this fashion and not in this way. There is a reason behind this. I think we focused some good 11 weeks of a series on Gajnigiri, and this was all online. This was all online, so that we could bring everyone together and help them, understand this better and take decisions, so that if they have a situation, they know, okay, we are doing this process because of this reason. Can I bring a tweak to it? Yes, as long as the reason is getting addressed, the logic is getting addressed, it's okay. So you wanted to empower them, and that's how we did this series. So there are a couple of innovative ways that organizations can think of to build this talent pool.
Yeah, I think that's a very interesting example. So like you said, there could be a lot of creative ways of doing. And another important point which I would like to reiterate is the ability to draw insights, like you said, from the information, analyze and come
Correct.
up with, interpret it properly, come up with insights,
Right.
and data which can be used for decision making. I think that's a very important skill and capability
Correct.
that the center managers should have. So what would be your key message to, let's say, the training partners who would want to perhaps hire center managers or upskill them or reskill them? I think we should also keep the COVID challenges in mind as we speak, because
Absolutely.
the second phase
Absolutely.
is definitely, throwing up many more challenges than the
Correct.
first one. So what do you have to say on this?
So I think you nailed it, Madhuri. Upskilling and reskilling. That's the word that even I had in mind. I think training partners should definitely look at investing, time, effort, money, and in fact, COVID-19 has definitely impacted us severely, but it has also opened doors and acceptance to digitization. People are now open for learning through platforms like this. And I think also, unless and until you're self-motivated, you can't, go ahead. That's the message that COVID-19 has given to all of us. One has to deeply invest in your own self-learning. However, the training partners can facilitate those environments. You can definitely give courses to them. There are a lot of online courses available which you don't have to even pay for it. It's free of cost. You can definitely offer those courses to your center managers. The journey at the and because the center managers, typically the journey at the top is alone. It's
Yeah.
pretty lonely because they may not have colleagues with whom they can share their fears, their aspirations, their dreams, their needs, their problems, their challenges. So keeping that in mind, maybe some kind of a mentoring program, peer-to-peer connect program, a platform where they can come together and talk and discuss, curate those things. I think all that things will definitely be helpful for a center manager. So give attention to that role. It's not just the trainer and the student, but that role is also very critical and important. So my urge to training partners would definitely be to look at ways how they can be engaged, and they can be your potential leaders, right? Today they are CEOs and center managers of one center. They are the pipeline that you are creating for the next level of leadership. Growing talent from within, build or buy. So building is a better option.
Yeah.
So, and people look at different projects. Whenever you have different projects, how can you make use of your existing resources? It can happen only when you invest in them. So I think that's the key message that I would like to have for all training partners.
Yeah. Along with the training partners, I think there are also these other stakeholders who are a part of the ecosystem, let's say like the funders, the policy makers and others, who should also
Yeah,
be aware of this role, and also
absolutely.
see that this role could also be an aspiration for who are already there. Let's say a senior trainer could aspire to be a center
Absolutely.
manager,
Yes, yes, I totally
because he
agree.
demonstrates these skills. So we have that kind of a pipeline which can be built up because they would have already been a part of the system. So, do
Correct.
you have anything to share on this account where we need to bring in much more awareness and,
Yes,
like I said, among policymakers and among people who
yes.
are influencers, funders, and so on?
Yeah, I think that's a very good question, Madhuri, bringing in a very broader perspective to this role, not just from a training partner perspective. I think from a funder standpoint, I think, when a funder is definitely investing and trying to, have more students, impact more students, I think they should definitely consider the cost of, training the center managers, building the capability of centers and other people of that particular center. They should definitely question ask the training partners, what are you doing about this? What are you doing about the capability? Put that in the costing. I think that would definitely be a good way to start from a funder perspective. Another thing that funders can also, support is because they already have talent, they already have expertise within their own organization.
Yeah.
Can they look at lending that expertise to the training partner?
Mm.
Can someone from the funder come and mentor these center managers? Do they have a great leadership program which can be offered to these center managers and they can be a part of it? So everything need not just be a cost. You may be having something fantastic. Can you please extend that to the training partners and to the center managers so that they can avail of it? I think that's one way that funders can definitely look at collaborating and strengthening the center managers and the leadership pool.
Yeah.
And of course, from a policymaker standpoint, I feel, while training of trainers is something which is very critical. If you don't have a certified trainer, that particular program is not recognized, certificate is not recognized. I think while that policy or guideline is there, guideline on center manager, shifting the focus center manager, understanding, we already have a QP on center managers, right? We already have a QP. Can we put that into action? Can we tell them that if this program has to happen, I need a certified center manager who can take care of that center? Can that guideline also come from a policy maker? I think that will also enable and inspire the training partners to invest and put time to select a great center manager or a good center manager for that center, because resource is really scarce at this point of time. You don't get what you want. So, and especially in remote locations, you know how difficult it is. So how can we build? How can we build them? And everyone is capable, right? There's nothing to do with ability. Everyone is capable. It's only about giving them that exposure to build their skills. I think if policymakers can think on those lines, that also definitely would be helpful and a great boost to the skilling ecosystem.
Yeah, very true. Because I think to summarize what you said just now is more like, the leadership orientation for center managers, which could be a very unique way of grooming and,
Right.
improving their skills and knowledge is perhaps necessary right now. And
Yeah.
besides all the points you just told us, Vijita, is there anything else that you wish to convey to our audience?
I think just to add on to the policymaker point, Madhuri, we are also seriously discussing, because we have seen the fruits of investing in our center managers. It's really helping us, and our underlying principle is to impact the ecosystem. Is there something that we are doing good and great, and can we give it across to the people who are there outside? And hence we are also talking to policymakers, to check whether we can adopt the center manager program, and can we start investing in center managers. And of course, Madhuri, I think the work that you are also doing about bringing these nuances, bringing these conversations and putting it out in the ecosystem, I think that's also another wonderful way of evangelizing that, look, this needs attention. Can someone do something about it? I think that's also something great. I think the only key message that I would like to give to every audience is that, whether people invest in you or don't, you have to invest in yourself. I think that's the age, it's time for each one of us to be accountable for our own learning. Otherwise, we may become obsolete. If we don't take change by hand, change will take us by throat. So I think,
yeah, I think, right. I think that should be the spirit. Thanks a lot, Vijita, for joining us today. You have really shared a lot of expertise around the center managers. I'm sure this is going to help a lot of our audience. Thanks a lot. We would like to be in touch
Thank
with
you so much.
future talks. Thank you. Bye.
Definitely. Thank you, Mother. Thank you.